Hey, what's going on, Pats Nation? Welcome to another edition of the Cans Pats Talk Patriots podcast. Here tonight is Tuesday, man. We got a lot to talk about. We got Brendan Ayuk. He might be coming to the Patriots. We got Matthew Judon latest. Then we got we're gonna talk about some of the training camp latest. What's going on with the Patriots in terms of the training camp? I'm Jordan Knight as always, by my boy Stats, man. What's going on with you?
What's up? What's up? Very busy past 24 hours as a Patriots fan. A lot of refreshing of Twitter, seeing, what the latest stuff comes out. But I'm excited to talk about, the Ayuk rumors and what's going on at camp.
Very busy, very busy. I mean, I gotta ask, are we gonna get our hearts broken again, man? Is it? I mean, it's the third time gonna be the charm. We thought we had D Hop last year. Then we thought we had Kevin Ridley. Now it's Brendan Ayuk. We're gonna hop into that. We can go ahead and get into that, man. It's the hottest thing going on right now. I don't know what to take. I mean, I think right now, if you're the Patriots, you got to pay like a suck tax, what I like to call it. You got to overpay now to get players. Usually, when you have Brady and Belichick, they'll take discounts to come. But now that's not the case no more. You got to pay. You got to pay. I call it the suck tax because you're not a good team. You don't. You stay in. I mean, no, you stay up there. So you stay in the area where it's cold and similar to Buffalo. It's not a lot. I mean, it's a sports town, but who wants to come play for the Patriots nowadays? So it's kind of you gotta overpay to get players to come to you. Now, I mean, I think they tried to pay Calvin Ridley like 28 million or something, 27 or something like that. They tried to pay him a lot to come. He still wouldn't come. He chose Tennessee. I think they said something about his girlfriend or something like that. But that's another conversation for another day. But on the Brendan Ayuk, it's interesting right now because it's the Patriots and the Browns that are in it right now. Then the Steelers are lurking. I think the Commanders are out of it. If I'm not mistaken. But
Yeah,
it's just
they
the
are.
Patriots. It's the Patriots and Browns. The Steelers were out. Now the Steelers are back in it. Last night going to bed, I thought that we had a good chance of getting it. For the most part, the day I did, and then when the Steelers got back into it, I'm like, well, I think he might go to Pittsburgh. But from my understanding, if he wants money, I think that Patriots give him the best opportunity in terms of money and the 49ers wanting the draft composition. Patriots probably not going to be a good team this year, so you probably can get a high pick. Steelers, they always been a mediocre team, so even if he goes to Pittsburgh, you're probably getting like a middling pick, like in the 20s, somewhere like that. So, but he wants to go to the Steelers. I really think if he really wanted to go to New England, the deal would have been done. Where do you stand on everything that's going on there? What's the latest that you have heard?
So the main thing that people talk about with Brandon Ayuk, even going back to the draft time, is he wants money. He feels that he's worth one of the top 5 best receivers in the league, and you got to overpay guys at times to get what you want, especially like you said when you're a team that's not really in contention right now. With the Brandon Ayuk situation, last night, I had a lot of obviously initial it was hype at first, hearing about it. Today, I woke up, didn't really see much. I kind of got down, saw the Steelers thing. But it seems to me that the Patriots, after they keep hearing these reports on other teams, they just want to keep upping the ante. As soon as we heard the rumors about the Steelers being back into it, we then heard after that the Patriots are willing to pay Brandon Ayuk top 5 wide receiver money.
Right.
So if Ayuk wants the money, we have every team beat, not even close. Pittsburgh doesn't have a lot of cap next year. The Browns are paying $60 million over the cap next year. If you ask me, it's going to come down to us or the Steelers. Obviously, the Steelers are in a little bit better position to win right now, but with us, we can give them a lot more money. I still do have hope just with these reports, and Elliott's doing everything he can to get him over here. I got a lot to say about Ayuk. If you bring Ayuk over here, you have a top 15 receiving core immediately. Your guys below them all elevate. It's gonna only help the younger guys develop. And if Pop, Polk, and if Pop can keep ascending, and either Polk or Baker can pop like we think they can,
Probably both of
that
them.
that's a top 10 receiving core right there.
Yeah, top 10, 12, 15 is up there. It's definitely much better than last year. But
Yeah,
what I was gonna say is, I think like from the standpoint of where the Patriots are right now, like right now you're probably not a playoff team. You get you're gonna be a playoff team. He makes you that much better, especially on offense. And Jacoby said he's been cooking and he's been lighting the defense up in training camp. So even if we get you don't need Drake May still don't have to play right away. So I just think like if he was going to come, the deal would have been done. But like I said, if he wants money, he'd go to New England. If he wants to win, then why not just stay in? If it's not about money, I don't know why he wouldn't stay in San Francisco. I mean, what I mean. So he letting everybody know right now by him not wanting to stay in San Fran, it's about money because San Fran they're like one win away from the Super Bowl. So you really going to want to come to a team that has no chance of getting to the Super Bowl, but they can pay you much. So I'm thinking if it's just about winning, why not stay in San Francisco? Don't know. I don't know how much Pittsburgh has on their cap and what what they're going to offer, but I'm pretty sure New England can offer a whole lot more than what Pittsburgh can.
Yeah, so the difference with us and the Steelers, which like I said, I think those are the two clear cut teams right now. I don't know if the Browns just have the money next year because Ayuk wants to get traded and extended immediately. Again, he doesn't want to get traded somewhere and then try to sign somewhere next season. So with us, we got a great veteran wide receiver in Kendrick Bourne that we can send back. With Pittsburgh, their only real talented NFL caliber receiver is George Pickens, and they're obviously not trading him. After that, they don't have they don't have the players like we do that are trade candidates. Even Matthew Judon can be involved in this deal for all we know. But from what I hear, the 49ers would love nothing more than to have Kendrick Bourne back in their organization because they were pushing for him in free agency before we re-signed him. With the Brandon Ayuk thing, you brought it up. Great point. It's crazy how one player like him can change your team because Brandon Ayuk takes the weight off a lot of people's shoulders and he immediately makes you a wild card contender right away. Uh, Whether Drake May plays or not, if Drake does play, great for Drake's development. He's got a reliable, number one receiver that's proven in the NFL. If he doesn't, Jacoby Brissett, he's looked great in camp, and we'll get into that in a second. He's got a number one receiver now that he can go to every time. And then once the younger receiver starts to develop even more, because like I said, right now, the younger receivers are going to get attention from the top cornerbacks because those are our guys right now. If you get Ayuk, that's what the defense is going to scheme towards is Brandon Ayuk, and then the younger receivers will be the second.
It
And
makes
third
it
option.
easier for everybody else.
Yeah, and with the Kendrick Bourne thing, we all love Bourne, whether the deal happens or not. Bourne's here, or if he's in San Francisco, I will always love Kendrick Bourne for what he's brought to the organization. He brings energy. He's brought life back to this organization. But you got to do it. As much as we love Bourne, you got to take, the feelings out for a second. Brandon Ayuk just makes your team that much better. And, trading Kendrick Bourne, if that's what you have to do, then it is what it is.
One thing I think we all in past Nation, I think we all can agree on is at least they are trying to get somebody.
Yes.
In the past, when Bill was there and we didn't like to pay nobody, so at least we are trying to throw the bag out there. We're trying to weaponize the offense. At least we trying. So if we don't get them, you can't blame it on Elliott Woods. You can't blame it on Gerard May. You can't blame it on Robert Kraft because the reports are out there. These ain't no smokes because the reports are out there. They are trying. So if he doesn't want to come, it's just he don't want to come. It's not us. He can't say it was a money issue. Like with Calvin Ridley, we would never throw that much money out at him if Belichick was still there. He wouldn't do that for Tom. So my thing is like at least, I mean, you don't want to keep swinging and missing, but at least I can say like it's a step in the right direction because you're trying. It's just hard to get people to come. So it ain't like I can see if they lowball them or something like that. The reports are that they really want them or whatnot. So you can't make nobody come or whatnot. So we are trying to get trying to get talent. So that lets you know we swinging, we're gonna hit at some point. You ain't gonna keep missing. And you look, I don't know the free agent class right now offhand right now. We got a bunch of wide receivers next year, but a lot of times these guys they don't really make it to the free agent market. These number one receivers, they don't get to like that. You probably got to trade for them to give up draft competition on draft comp, and then you got to pay them.
Yeah, so even in years past, like, you've always been able to turn to Belichick for not, spending money, trying to do it the Brady way, even with Mac Jones, which obviously didn't pan out. I was gonna say this, harp on this actually. You can't blame Elliott Wolf. You can't blame anyone in the Patriots organization. They're clearly trying. We have tried to get Ayuk since April, reportedly. We tried with Calvin Ridley. And it seems like with what they're doing right now, whether we get Ayuk or not, they're going to keep trying because they've been open to, calling Seattle for DK Metcalf. There's a lot of options on the table. If the Pats start off 3-2 this year, do not be surprised if Elliott Wolf gets on the phone with a team that's not doing great and trades for a player, because that's
By the
what it
trade
seems like they're
deadline.
trying to do. Because I understand they want to see how the young guys are, but what all these rumors are also telling me is Elliott Wolf wants a nice veteran number one in front of them to take a lot of pressure off their shoulders. Because right now, with Kendrick Bourne out, we probably have the youngest receiving core in the entire NFL. Our oldest guy that's going to make the roster is KJ Osborne, and he's like 27. So, I mean, again, our receivers have looked nice, and I love our receiving core for the future. But adding a
But they're
guy that
young. Yeah, they're young. They're rookies. It's going to take them time to gel.
yeah,
They look nice in camp. Let's see how they look tomorrow night. Well, on Thursday night in the preseason, they're going to look. Let's see if they can stay healthy. They're looking nice in camp. But can you really rely on Javon Baker? He got drop problems. Can you really rely on Jalen Poe continue to get separation? Pop Douglas staying healthy. There's a lot of question marks there. There's potential there, but there's a lot of question marks there. I want to get to this comment right here from Joe. So, Joe, what's going on? Do you really believe that, Ken, or do you think by the end players didn't want to play for Bill and they want to play for a guy like Mayo? That's what I honestly think, but what do I know? Good question. Well, I think if they want to play with Mayo, then I mean we probably would have landed Calvin Ridley, because that our offer won't too bad from Tennessee. I think Tennessee offered like an extra million or two more. So would you rather stay in Tennessee or Boston? You know what I mean? So it's like is that I don't think it was too. I don't think the offer was that bad. I don't think it's that. I think they want to play for Mayo. I think Belichick was a big fan of DeAndre Hopkins. So I think
yeah.
that was more of a money issue. I don't think he just didn't want to come. He actually took a visit to the Patriots, and Belichick likes he really wanted DeAndre Hopkins. I don't think he wanted to pay him though.
Yeah, back to like the comment we were talking about with, we would have thought it already happened. I thought that too, but multiple reports have come out saying it doesn't just happen that easily. Things take time. They have to, it's because again, it's not a free agency thing. He can't just pick a team and say, "Oh, I'm going there." We have to meet the 49ers standards, and we have to officially agree on a deal. Because, we could have a nice framework deal done, and the 49ers could like it, but it's not, it's going to take time, and Ayuk's going to want to weigh his options out. But with the Hopkins thing last year, it was money. Because D-Hop, when he visited here, they were posting Judon was posting on his story. Everyone looked like it was a great time. It sounded like it went really well. And there's no reason why D-Hop would pick Tennessee over us other than money. Because Belichick lowballed them last year. This is the exact opposite case. Last year, people still considered us to maybe make the playoffs just because, we still have Belichick. Years past, we were successful. This year, people, have us as in a rebuild year. Now it's the exact opposite. Now we have to overpay guys to come here, but
Yep.
it's just what you got to do sometimes. And I'm totally fine with giving him 32, 33 million a year. If that's the
Yeah.
case to
Do
get him.
you think
But
he's a number one?
I do. I actually, if I do rankings a lot, my receivers, I think he's a top 10 receiver. I think he's probably right around 10. But again,
Would you take Bernard Ayuk or CeeDee Lamb?
CeeDee Lamb
Yeah.
easily. But
I get CD 35, 36.
yeah, but yeah, oh yeah, I love CD. But with Ayuk, the opportunities here, and Elliott's trying his best from what we're being reported. So we'll see. The ball's in Ayuk's hands now. If he wants to come here for the
If
money,
he wants to get paid, I don't think it's close. It's us.
no, nope. And the
I don't
Patriots,
think Cleveland can't give him that much. And Pittsburgh's they've never been known to really pay out like that for nobody like that. They really
no,
haven't. That's why it's kind
it's
of
crazy.
shocking. I mean, I know he wants to go there, but they've never been known to spend big in like free agency or just spend big for nothing. They've never been known for that.
Yeah, they just developed their players. All their good players have been
Yeah.
developed, like Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, all those guys. But one more quick thing on Ayuk is you actually just said it. The ball, I just said the ball is in his hands. If he wants to come here, yeah, and it's crazy because a guy like that, he can bring your win total up by 2 wins. It's like if you think we're gonna win 6-7 games right now, Ayuk makes you in that wild card race, maybe 8 to 9 wins. He's just that much of a difference maker for our offense. And he does bump everyone down a spot in the depth
Yeah.
chart. So that would probably, hurt a guy like Tyquan Thornton at this point. But again, you're getting a
Yeah.
clear cut number one, and that's what you got to do to win nowadays.
Owen 137 said, what's going on, Owen? Owen said, I genuinely believe we can make the playoffs without you. Good point. I do want to get into this. What do you think the floor is for our season in terms of wins if we do get Brendan Ayuk? I think because I think the floor. I think I had the floor as like five wins, probably 5 or 6 wins. I think I had our floor. I think that floor goes up to 7 or 8 wins, and I think the ceiling is like 10 wins. We can get Brendan Ayuk. I think the floor goes to 7. I think the worst would be at 7 wins. I think the best, I think 10. That's what I think. How you feel?
I agree with that. The thing is with Ayuk is he's gonna if he comes here, he's gonna single handedly win you 2 or 3 games by himself. That's what wide
Mm-hmm.
receivers do. CeeDee Lamb, he won at least 3 or 4 games for Dallas last year. And if Ayuk's the clear cut number one on our team, he's gonna have a game where he has 8 for 140 and 2 touchdowns, and he's gonna win you the game single handedly. Again, I agree with you. Our floor, if everything goes wrong still, it's probably 7 wins. But if everything goes right and Jacoby has a Geno Smith year or Drake May comes in
10,
and plays like
11.
Justin Herbert did in his rookie year, you can win 10, maybe even 11 games. And you could finish above Buffalo and maybe Miami in the division. We'll see. I know I'm jumping way ahead right now, but that's if everything goes
because
perfectly
but
well.
see because now you get out you. Let's just say you're playing the Jets, and let's just give me who's the team that travel that corner? Yeah, let's just say it's Jets. I know Sauce Gardner don't really travel like that, but he stays on one. Say he plays a lot of zone. But let's just say you playing the Jets. So now Sauce is probably going to go at Brendan Ayuk. I think that second corner is DJ Reed, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
DJ. Yeah,
Reed's probably going to go with Pop, and then okay, who's going on Poke? Then who's going on Baker? You see the domino effect
exactly.
yeah. So
If
it opens up better
Javon
matchups.
Yeah, if Javon Baker and Jalen Polk are your third and fourth guys with that potential, that
That's
is
nice.
you're in a great spot. And we always talk about this. You can never have enough receivers. If you're struggling who to pick to make your roster, that is a good thing. And I'm not talking with guys that are bad like Juju. I'm talking about guys with the talent of those. If those guys are your 3 and 4 in their rookie years and they develop slowly, that is a really, really, really good receiving core.
Joseph says game changer. No way you can argue that. Agree.
Yep.
Hey, it's 8, 19, 20. Y'all in here. Make sure you hit that like button on YouTube. Give me the thumbs up on YouTube, Facebook. Share the content. Like the video. Comment. LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you at. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the YouTube. Especially if you're on YouTube, give me that thumbs up, man. I would greatly appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up on YouTube. Give me that like. At the end of the day, I really don't care about the money. It's all coming down to that overpay. It's not coming out of our pockets. I agree.
I don't know if Ken, I don't know if you saw this, but McCaffrey made a comment saying he referred to Ayuk as his former teammate, which I thought was really
I
interesting.
seen it. Well, he I mean he's in the building, so I'm sure he knows. Like, there's a good chance Ayuk is not going to be there.
Yeah, yeah.
Ken, I think you nailed it. He wants to get paid, and we have a players coach. I think that really matters, even without Bill. Agreed, Joseph. And see, Diane. I heard that May had good chemistry with Booty today in the red zone. I feel like that's a nice development. Yeah, we forgot about Kayshawn Booty. He's had a up and down count. I think Jalen Rager caught a lot of balls today. Kayshawn Booty, I mean, he's kind of going. He's probably going to be on the outs if we do get RU. I think even if we don't get RU, he's probably gone. Maybe you can get him on the practice squad or whatnot. But I mean, a lot of these guys like Thornton, Juju, Booty, they probably gonna be on the way out. Born, they're gonna be on the way out because you can't have all these guys. All you's gonna be your one, Pop two, Pope three, Baker four. Maybe you keep Taquan and the KJ Osborne. That's maybe, but a lot of these guys gonna be on the way out. But Booty has really had good chemistry with made his whole count.
Yeah, I was just gonna jump to the KJ Osborne thing. KJ Osborne has been your most consistent
He's
receiver.
starting to come on. Yeah, he's starting to come on
He's been playing really well, and he's been Jacoby
since
Brissett's
the
favorite
pass came
target.
on.
Yes, and that's perfect. That's what you want to see. You don't care about what the receivers do without pads on. You want to see what they. That's why we weren't really overreacting with Taekwon. You want to see what they can do with pads on. And KJ Osborne has been Jacoby Brissett's favorite target, so he's definitely bumped up. I
He's
think he's a
making it.
lock. I think he's a lock to make it. I don't
Do
know
you
about
think he's the
Taekwon.
starting X?
Uh in my opinion, it's close. It really is. But what I was gonna say, we talked about this. Taekwon Thornton, he's dealing with another injury again, and
Soft tissue injury, I seen.
it's not. It's just that's just not good because he was having a solid camp. You know, the day before he got hurt, he wasn't great, and now he got the injury. So that's gonna hurt him for sure. Especially when these other guys are starting to play even better.
Yeah, man, he was having such a good camp, and that's been a knock on him. Man, he's had these good days, then he just goes missing and he's hurt. And then I knew something wasn't right though when I seen that he wasn't practice. I just knew something wasn't right.
Yep.
But hey, that's
Yep.
been the Taekwondo Thornton experiment.
Yep.
Shit, my God, it's so exciting to think about, but I can't handle any more wide receiver non-signing letdown. It's like we're starting to become the interest kings. Like we always
Yep.
inches on people, but inches of people we never can close through. But
Yeah.
man, we got to keep swinging.
This is like a different interest though, because it's not like we're interested in like lowballing. We're interested in we're doing as much as we can to get the player. So it's a little bit more optimistic.
I think this one's gonna hurt though if we don't land them.
Yeah.
Because now you're kind of like a joke of a franchise. You're kind of like, you know what I mean? That's what's becoming to. Good point, Ken. If we don't get him, but we offered him the most money, then what can else? Yeah, what else can you do? Not really much. I mean, you can't force somebody to come. You can't put him in the corner and tell him he's going. You can't do that, man. And then why would you're not going to trade for? You're not going to give up assets for him to be a 1 year rental. You're going to have to work out that deal. That wouldn't make sense. But like I said, and I remain my stance. I really didn't want Ayuk from the start. I'm more on draft and develop. Remember, we had this conversation weeks ago. I was like, hey, I want to see what the Reese can do. I want to see what Baker, Pope, Pot, if he can stay healthy, what they can do. So I mean, if not, it's business as usual for me, man. I'll be happy. But once you start hearing the inches and it might be real, and I know something fishy today when Kendrick, we're about to get into it. Kendrick Bourne was at practice, did he left practice, did he won at practice, and then Matthew Judon, they won't participate. So I kind of like, okay, we might be in this thing. We might be getting them because they, you know why? They don't want them to practice. They're scared they might get hurt and they can mess up the trade or whatnot. And then they just gave Kendrick Bourne another deal, and Matthew Judon, he wants money, so he's got his own situation going on that we're about to get into. But once I noticed that they were sitting at practice, I was like, okay, we might be coming to grips with this thing. We might be getting close to a deal with Brent Ayuk.
Yeah, especially with the rain too. That I just don't think they want to hurt Kendrick Bourne a lot more because Gerard Mayo came out and said this morning, and he doesn't really give out a lot of information. So him saying this is a lot. He came out and said he had open discussions with Kendrick Bourne about the rumors because obviously Kendrick Bourne's not stupid. He hears what's going on. If we hear about it, so do the players. So I mean, I think that's a good. Coach Mayo wants to be open with his players, and he probably went up to him. He's like, KB, we love you, man, but I just want to let you know you're part of these rumors. We wanted to be open with you about it, and that's just how it is. And it's not a coincidence that Kendrick Bourne, for the first time in a week or two, wasn't out there for the initial stretch, but then came out and then left. And Elliot Wolf was also out there too. So there's definitely something going on. Elliot Wolf has not been attending any practice.
He's been showing up a lot of practice lately.
Yeah. He's been to like the ones where we've been talking about the Godshaw signing. He was there. He was there for the one today with the Ayuk rumor. So there's no way that these rumors are false. They're 100% true. We are definitely in it. Even Gerard Mayo said, I like as soon as he walked into his interview, he said, "I know what you guys don't want to hear." And he
They know
basically
what's going
confirmed.
on.
He basically confirmed it, but he said we don't talk about players from other organizations. He knows what's happening. Elliot Wolf was there today. Kraft was on the field today. So there's just a lot going on. We'll see what happens. And, it's not a coincidence that Bourne and Judon were both kind of, off and on the field.
Call me crazy. I like this comment right here. Call me crazy on this. I feel like trading Juju would be better than KB. I mean, we can give him Kendrick Bourne, but I actually think Juju would fit good with the 49ers. I actually think so. Like, he's a big body receiver. They got Debo, Pearsall, Jennings. They got the kid Cowan at Arizona State. Hell, I give him Bourne and Juju. I mean, I would give him both of them and whatnot. I actually think Juju would fit, and they got George Kittle, McCaffrey. I actually think Juju would fit good with the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan know how to scheme receivers open. He's a good run game coach, so Juju's going to block. And I think a lot of receivers play good when they go into that system.
Well, the problem is if you want to package Juju and KB, then that's fine. But I don't think a second in Juju's getting you, Brandon Ayuk. I just don't think Juju's really a factor in that because if he goes over there, I mean, Ricky Pearsall is already over him. Jawan Jennings is already over him, and the kid from Arizona, Cowling, he's over him too. I just don't think Juju's really a factor there. But with the 49ers offense, you never know because they make players play, above their level. We've seen that before. So maybe Juju could be fine over there, but I think Kendrick Bourne's definitely the piece we'll see go out if we do get a guy.
And he used to play there, so they really want him back. They kind of want him.
Yeah.
Nathan said Juju, the practice squad player, won't happen. He had another drop today too. You're probably 100% spot on, Ken. I just feel like players, not all of them, we're getting sick of Bill at the end, and it hurt us in free agency. Just my opinion. I can see that. Taquan Thornton. Send them. What if we send them Taquan Thornton?
Well, yeah, it helps that he's had a pretty good camp because, he's
Can't
looked
stay
good.
healthy though.
He's had moments. I was just going to say that though, like the 49ers aren't stupid. They look at him and say, "All right, he's already dealing with the soft tissue injury again, which is going to linger. That's not something that just heals right away. That's going to linger. If you keep putting pressure on that, it's not going to heal. So you got to take time." And Taekwon kind of tried to I know Taekwon's fighting for his life, so he kind of tried to make it seem like it wasn't that big of a deal. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'll be fine. I'm trying to work through it." But that's not how soft tissue injuries work. We see those linger with players all the time. So I think that probably is a little worrisome for the 49ers. Like I said, if the 49ers do give us Ayuk, Kendrick Bourne, in my opinion, is 100% the piece. They love him over there. He was there with Shanahan initially. So we'll see. And I don't want to lose KB by any means. I love the guy, but the talent is just not even close.
A deal breaker for me would be sending them my first round pick next year, or sending my first round pick next year, Javon Baker or Jalen Poe. Don't give up none of our current
No.
young wide receivers, and I'm not giving y'all a first round pick. I give you a second and Kendrick Bourne or whatever, something like that. But I'm not giving you Baker, Poe, or the first round pick. I think that's off the table.
Yeah, there's only a few untradeable guys on the team right now, in my opinion, and it's Baker, Polk, Barmore, and Drake May,
Pop Douglas too.
and Pop Douglas. After those five,
Yeah,
I'd pretty much anyone's on the table besides a
yeah.
first round pick. I'm not giving up a first round pick for Brandon Ayuk because, again,
What if they want Christian Gonzalez?
No, I'm not giving up Christian Gonzalez. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting about a few guys. Not giving up Christian Gonzalez either. But like,
I give him Keon White.
mainly on the offense. Keep hitting me with these guys. Just mainly guys on the offense. I wouldn't give up Baker, Polk, or Pop. I don't think that's a good move at all because again, they're all young and they could develop into being just as good as Ayuk. I mean, that's gonna be hard to accomplish, but I wouldn't give any of them up.
Joseph said we get Ayuk, Big L, Taquan is 1,000%. Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, he is.
He's cut or traded in the package. The overpaying part doesn't bother me. Like we are going to have all this money available for the next 10 years. Let's spend it, man. True, but they still got to come though. We can have the money. We had the money for really. We didn't. He didn't want to come. Lamb is top man. Lamb is my dream scenario. We get CD Lamb, man. I'm telling you, I might walk to New England.
Love CD.
Joseph said 7. What is he referring? What you referring to, Joseph?
I wish I could remember, but I got so much going on in my mind right now that
I haven't been excited this much going to the season in a long time, and we'd be even more excited. We land a big time receiver. We got to keep swinging. We gonna land at some point. I'm with you, Owen. There's a lot of excitement, but I don't want to get burnt again on a wide receiver. I feel like we just can't get one here, but I'm going to try to be positive. Ayuk is tough too, real tough. Yeah, I just don't know if he's a one. He was in a loaded offense in San Francisco, so I don't know how. But now if he come here, he getting 100, but not like at least like 70% of the daggone targets. He's probably going to eat here. He's going to be the only he's your number one option. I got your back, Ken. I'm always sharing your content. You too, Stat. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
There's absolutely no reason for me to think this, but I have this paranoia of a third team showing up at the last minute and swiping up. What do you guys think? Yeah. Remember Tennessee did that with really. They came out of nowhere.
Yeah. So, the problem with the difference with the Ayuk situation is not a lot of teams have money for in store to sign Ayuk to that long of a term because Ayuk wants like a 5-year deal for whatever, like 160 million. And not a lot of teams really need receivers right now. I think the teams that we've been talking about, the Steelers, Cleveland, if Amari Cooper leaves next year. But, other than that, I don't really think a lot of teams, if you really go through it, have their guy at one. And you could even say we do with our young guys. But, again, we have to see it on the field in a game. But, Ayuk with the money and, just needing a one, I think there's only a few teams that would really come up out of nowhere, especially because it's a trade too. If it was free agency and it was rumored, I'd be more nervous because free agency, anyone can do whatever they want. The reports already come out. The deals that the 49ers looked at were us and the Browns, and it's deals. Again, people are kind of treating this like free agency. They still have to trade. They still have to trade him. Ayuk doesn't really – Ayuk has say in where he goes, But at the end of the day, the 49ers are sending him to another team and getting stuff in return. So it's a trade. So it's a lot different. That's why I'm a little less worried about that happening. Again, I still am, because, I have like PTSD from the D-Hop situation last year. But we'll see. We'll see.
It's just a hot take. Ayuk Waddle. I'll take Ayuk over Waddle. I'll
I
take
don't think
Ayuk
that's
over
a hot
Waddle.
take. I think Ayuk.
Waddle
I
has
think
a
if you
big
throw
injury.
Ayuk
He
on
got an
the
injury history too.
Yeah, I think if you throw Ayuk on the Dolphins, that he's better than Waddle. And I love Jalen Waddle. He's probably a top
Yeah.
15 receiver, but he's better.
All right, let's get into practice today, man. What did you? I know you weren't there today, but based on reports and whatnot, who really stood out to you today based on reports and whatnot? Me personally, I think Sean Wade's starting to come on at cornerback. I think Marcellus Dad had picked the day on Drake May. Drake May had a solid game, had a solid practice. Training camp, he had 2 touchdowns, one to Jaheim Bell. It's
Yep,
finally been a Jaheim Bell sighting. He caught a
final.
touchdown. And then I think Kayshawn Booty caught a touchdown.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was Booty caught a touchdown. Brissett's been cooking. I think he hit Austin Hooper. I think KJ Osborne kind of had a good practice and whatnot. Gonzo's been letting up some catches and whatnot, but who really stood out to you today in camp?
So, to the Drake May thing, really quick, a lot of his interceptions are like bad throws that you're like, oh boy, that's like a lot of them are tip drill. A couple, like most of his interceptions have been balls that have either been a slightly overthrown that tip off the receiver's hands, and the quarterback intercepts it. That happened last time with Joshua Bledsoe. I think it was Jalen Hawkins. And this time it was Marcellus down. A lot of tip drill interceptions. So those don't really worry me as much. If he was just completely missing receivers and throwing it right to our backs, I'd be a
Yeah,
little more
bad
worried.
reads and stuff like that.
But
Yeah.
it's not really that. He's hitting the guys in the hands. A lot of his incompletions are drops. Unfortunately, it's happened a couple times. Even Javon Baker's had a couple drops. Juju's
A
had a lot of
bunch.
drop problems. But a guy that stood out to me today was Kayshawn Boutte and KJ Osborne. They had big days. Kayshawn Boutte, he's still got a lot to prove. He needs to have a really good preseason. I want to make this
Jalen
team.
Rager too.
Yeah, Jalen Rager, him and Boutte are kind of in the same thing situation, but KJ Osborne's coming on. He's been a surprise, and he's showing what he's got, man. He's been Brissett's favorite target the past couple of days, and he had a nice long catch from Brissett. He brings a lot of energy. I'm a little worried about the O-line with all the injuries going on. I heard CD
Yes, a
Sal got
bunch.
hurt today. Chucks is hurt. David
Caden
Andrews,
Wallace got hurt, but he
yeah,
came back.
Caden Wallace got hurt. I've been hearing I was going to say that. And then David Andrews always has an injury history. So I'm a little worried about that, especially because we're so limited there because our backup offensive line is horrible. We've seen it. They actually gave Drake May reps with the ones today on the offensive line, and he did really good. The only thing Drake May's been really struggling with is the 2-minute drills. But again, a lot of that's been unlucky. But before that, Drake May was having an amazing practice.
Owen says I was there today and Booty was great. Okay, good for Kayshawn Booty starting to come on. Joseph said, Ken, that's actually not a bad point. This wouldn't be as devastating as it was the last few years because I think we have our quarterback and I think we at least have one of our wide receivers. I think we got two of the wide receivers. I think Baker and Pope can be good.
I mean, I think
Good
Pop's
point.
no slouch either.
Oh yeah, stats. I love what you just said about Mayo. I think that's why players are going to want to play for him. Let's just hope he knows what he's doing. Good point.
He's handling everything pretty well right now as a first-year head
Yeah,
coach.
the Judon situation kind of got quiet last week. That was kind of ugly.
Yeah, I think it sounds like Judon's just gonna play. I like that. He's like, hey, I signed the contract. I'm gonna play, and we'll see how that goes.
What I want to see is if we don't come away with Brennan, do they then? Is that what's been holding up the Judon deal? Because you've been paying a lot of people, so maybe I'm thinking those two situations are connected. So if we don't get our if he turns us down, he goes to Pittsburgh or Cleveland or stay with San Fran. Does that money then go to Judon? Or if we do get our then what happens with Judon then? So that's why I think those situations kind of tie in together. Nobody's talking about that, but I think they kind of tie in together.
That's a really good point, actually, you bring up, because apparently from reports, we've been interested in Ayuk since April. So, and if you want to pay him that much money, you're going to have to hold off on Judon. I think that's a really good point. I think even because I don't think they really were worried about the Devon Gottschall signing because they knew they weren't going to have to pay him as much. Because if you're going to pay Judon, you're going to have to give him probably $15+ million a year. Add that on to the $30+ million you give Ayuk, you're almost out of money for the 2024 season. So I think that's a really good point you bring up, actually, that a lot of people have not talked about.
Juju is officially cooked after today's performance from Owen. I think and Owen was there, so he would know.
Yeah, I'm not sure Juju even makes it through preseason. He is not looked good.
Joseph said, "Dead man walking Juju." Oh, and Drake was throwing beautiful passes in the end zone. I heard it. I heard it. I heard it. He been lights out in the red zone. I love
He has
hearing.
beautiful touch on those back corner throws every time.
I love hearing that. Oh, and that's awesome. From Joseph, I would trade Juju for a pair of see my used cleats. Oh wow. And Javon Baker's catch. Oh yeah, Javon Baker caught a crazy pass. I didn't see the actual video clip, but
I
he
didn't either,
caught
but
a
I heard
crazy
about that.
pass over Gunzo. Somebody said he wasn't in. So if Owen was he inbound? I think I seen a few reporters said they wasn't sure if he was in. But I don't know. That was crazy, man. When I seen that, I seen some clips like some pictures of it on Twitter. I ain't gonna lie, man. I know it's practice and Gonzo just come back. Gonzo been getting cooked, man. I mean, Gonzo, every time I look up, I'm seeing the catch on Gonzo, or it's either catch or touchdown. So Kayshawn Booty, Javon Baker, I think Tyquan Thornton. Like, I hope it's just practice. And some people play better in the game, but we're gonna see, man. I mean, we can put all this to rest week one. He shut out Jamar Chase, then we'd be okay. We're just talking for nothing. But I mean, it's gonna be one of the things where we kind of figured it was going that way because he was struggling to count if he doesn't have a good year, but. He got to get it going because you got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins week one. Then you got DK Metcalf and Ty Lockett. Week three, you got Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams. I forgot, I don't know who we played week four. But like you gotta tell he gotta
Week
get
four,
going.
you got San Francisco. If they still have Ayuk.
Then who we
But
got week five?
we got the I think it's the Dolphins. You got Tyree.
I think it's so like he ain't getting no breaks.
Well, the thing is wouldn't you rather see the cornerbacks? Wouldn't you rather be more worried about the cornerbacks than the wide receivers?
Yeah.
Especially with the position we're in right now. And I'm not really too worried about Gonzalez because I've been there most of the days. He's having these big plays on him. And again, like I just said, I kind of like hearing that because I think Gonzalez is a stud. And if Drake May is making these beautiful throws over him and Javon Baker's getting separation, that's great to hear. But there's been plays where guys don't get a foot of separation off of him, and I'm like, okay, there he is. Because I'm
And
not
if
really
and if
worried about.
Gonzo was clamping, if he was clamping up the receiver, then they'd say, "Oh, we don't have no receivers," and stuff like that. So it kind of works.
Yeah. Again, like I said, I would just much rather hear about the cornerbacks struggling because I don't worry nearly as much as about them than I do with our offense. But again, like we've been saying, our offense and defense have been splitting
It's
days.
good for the receivers. It's
Yeah,
good for the
and our
receivers.
offense and defense have been kind of matching. The defense has had their fair share of plays. They had 4 sacks on Brissett, I think, today. Or they would have had 4 sacks. They had an interception on May, but then May also had 2 beautiful throws. Jacoby Brissett had some nice throws. So it's kind of 50-50, which is what you love to hear as a good good football teams. That's what you hear.
Oh, so I completely forgot about Mike Wilson was on the Jets. Yeah, I think he's on PvP right now though.
Yeah, we'll see how
Yeah,
he goes. I think Malachi
he's up.
Corley's going to be there too, but we'll
Oh
see.
man, I wanted. Oh, he would have been nice with the Patriots. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jamari, what's going on? Yeah, Gonzo needs to play preseason for sure. Agree. Hey, make sure y'all hit that like button on YouTube, share on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you at, hit that like button. Especially if you're on YouTube, give me that thumbs up. It's like almost 30 of y'all in here. I really appreciate it. Me and Stats put in the work, man. We appreciate it. We ain't nothing without y'all. Joseph, if this trade doesn't happen, I think meant trade, it's gonna happen soon, right? You would think that they want to get this done to give both sides some time before the season starts. Am I wrong? What do you guys think? Good point. I'll let you get that, Stats.
So the thing is we've seen a lot of these things happen towards the the end of offseason because the thing with Brandon Ayuk, he doesn't really need to be there in attendance for the whole training camp because we know who he is. He's a star receiver, but he's not like that established like Tyreek Hill where he can't be there for literally anything. So my guess is I'm not saying it's going to happen today. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but I think by either the end of next week by the second preseason game, we're going to know something for sure because Brandon Ayuk's got to get in there for at least a few snaps. He's got to learn the playbook. It doesn't seem like he's returned to the 49ers from what his teammate Christian McCaffrey said. They're not really getting along over there. He kind of just shows up in like street clothes, but he also doesn't want people to notice him. He has his hood on all the time. So
Yeah.
he's definitely going to be gone, in my opinion. But I think within the next week or two, we'll definitely figure something out.
Well, we do have joint practice next week against the Eagles. So I
Yeah.
would love to have him there, have him for that, just to see get going up again because they drafted some corners. And even if he's not there, I want to see how Drake May performs next week and Jordan Prayer. I want to see how Javon Baker does going up against Darius Slade, Quinion Mitchell, those new receivers they got there. So I think next Tuesday to joint practice, will you be there?
Yeah, I will. They also got
Okay.
they got DeJean too. I love Cooper DeJean.
Yeah,
Um,
Cooper DeJean out of is it Michigan or Iowa, right?
Iowa, yeah. The thing with Brandon Ayuk, I think in the future our three guys that we have right now are going to be target night. I mean, matchup nightmares. But right now, if you bring Brandon Ayuk over, you finally have someone on your offense that the defense that you're playing on any given Sunday can scheme over. No, they're not really scheming over one specific player on our offense right now. We kind of got a bunch of solid dudes. We've talked about that. If you get Brandon Ayuk, they're like, okay, Brandon Ayuk's their guy. We got to figure out how we can take him out of the game. And
Oh,
that's what you want. Because then if they do that, if they focus too heavily on Brandon Ayuk, then your other guys come along who are super talented. And then, they'll start showing who they really are. Because Pop as a two would be one of the
yeah.
best in the NFL.
Man, people gonna know Pop Douglas after this season. If he
Oh,
stay
yeah.
healthy, they gonna know Pop. They don't know him right now, but they gonna know him this year. Georgia says, Ken, I completely agree. If this season does go south and we trade to number one, that turns out to be the fourth pick, that would sting. Agree. Georgia said, Gonzo. Yeah, Gonzo's kind of been struggling in camp.
Yeah, he's
Um,
had really good days and he's had some reps where he's kind of getting burned. But again, it's what you want to see.
if we get Brendan, okay, when he said seven, he was meaning if we get Brendan Ayuk, that's our floor, the seven. Remember, he made the comment about seven.
Oh, okay.
Okay, appreciate that, Joseph. Let's see. Sorry, the seven was my prediction for the Patriots. Yeah, Patriots floor if we make this trade.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
what
sir.
I,
Got
I
you.
that's what I think our floor would be too, is around 7.
Do we have a better chance to get RU than the Browns? Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah, so
Financially, I think so. Financially.
yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. I was gonna say financially, 100%. The Browns are way over the cap next year. Deshaun Watson's screwing them with that. He's fleecing them. But player wise, if it's Amari Cooper and Kendrick Bourne, obviously they win that. But money talks a lot more than players do. And I'm not saying Kendrick Bourne is on Amari Cooper's level, but he's not like that much worse. Where like it's like wow, like it's a world's difference, especially with the money too. Because Cleveland over the next couple of years, there's whether they keep Watson or not, dead money they're gonna be haunted by it. Same with the Broncos with Russell Wilson. So I think we do have a better shot than Cleveland. If I had to rank the teams right now, I'd put the Patriots number one. And I usually would
Yeah.
never say that. But if you really look at every detail, Pittsburgh doesn't have a lot to give. They're dealing with some quarterback issues too, and they don't really have
Mhm.
any proven veteran receivers.
I've
And
seen a
obviously,
trade scenario where they could trade Pat Frymer, but why would they want another tight end? I don't
yeah,
understand that one.
yeah, I'm just like they don't have any that doesn't make any sense
I
unless
can see
Kittle
George
walks.
Pickens though.
Yeah, unless Kittle walks. But the thing is if you trade George Pickens for Ayuk, you're not really. I mean, you're winning the trade, but like it's not like really
It
like
doesn't make
super like
sense.
doesn't really help them that much. But with us, we have a veteran, unestablished veteran receiver that already played under Shanahan, and we have by far the most money. So that's why I have us ranked at number one right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna see. We are the Vegas favorites to sign RU, which does hold water. Vegas knows. Hmm.
That's good.
Man,
No, I did not know that.
real quick before we get out, when do you think this thing's gonna be set? Let me see. We're gonna be haunted with Juju's dead money. Man, I hope this thing gets settled here soon, man.
Yeah, I'm not even just saying like to the Pats. I just want something to happen so I don't have to keep torturing myself over it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm feeling decent right now. Because I use the diva. I'll say it even if he comes here. He wants money. We have that to offer to him. If he wants 35 million a year, you got to do it. You have to. That's how you get star players over on a team that's just not really in contention right now.
Yes, sir. And that's gonna be it for tonight, man. I think they got practice tomorrow. Then you got a preseason game on Thursday. Stats will be at the game Thursday. Tomorrow night, we will be back at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with a special guest. They got the special guest we had on last night, Panthers plug. He will be back tomorrow. We're gonna go deep into the preseason game tomorrow. He gave us predictions on storylines, players to watch out for. So make sure y'all check us out tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern. Special guest Panther plug will be back tomorrow to talk about the game. And the Panthers guy, he will be back tomorrow night. Stats, anything else you want to you got to tell everybody?
Hey, football is finally here. The Patriots play a football game in 2 days, and it sounds like the starters are all going to play at least a drive or two. So, it's worth watching. If you're a diehard football fan like me and Ken, you guys got to tune in. We got a lot of excitement going around, especially if Brandon Ayuk comes here. Make sure to subscribe, though, guys. We really appreciate the support you guys have been giving us. We're gonna keep grinding for you guys, and the season's just around the corner, so I'm super excited.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, make sure y'all hit that like button on YouTube, share on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, IG, wherever you at. Make sure you share the content. Hey, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a good one.
Yes, sir, guys. Have a good one.